weep, glana, weep, nitty bong. And welcome back to the Justin Network. Today, we are doing a very special video, right? Because today, we're reviewing the Transformers 1 movie. And this is also the face reveal. Hey, it's me, Justin, the guy behind the camera, the voice you're used to hearing, reviewing the toys that you're watching. So, today, we're going to be looking at the Transformers 1 movie. It's time to review this bad boy. It is time! I am going to go ahead and start off by saying this is not spoiler free. There will be a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, here's how I want you to feel about it, okay? I want you to watch this video. But I also want you to actually go and see the Transformers 1 movie in theater. I'm going to be honest with you, I would rather you watch it in theaters over watch this. So, if you haven't seen it in theaters, or you're afraid that this video with the spoilers in it is going to ruin that experience, go see it in theaters first, then come watch that. I'm not usually going to do that, but I want to support this movie. I want to support Hasbro, Paramount, Transformers, everyone that went into making this movie. Because this movie, I'm going to say it now, this movie might be the greatest Transformers movie since the 86 movie. I'm going to say it. Okay. This movie might be better than the 86 movie. I know, okay. So the 86 movie has a lot of nostalgia going on for it. This movie has a lot of recency bias going on for it, right? I think if we try to cancel those two out, I'm trying my best. Canceling them out, I don't know, man. They're close. I can't believe how good it was. Like, I saw nothing but good reviews and good comments and such about it without seeing any spoilers, and I was like, man, can it really be that good? Especially because I think it was from the director early on, talking about this movie. They were like, hey, I don't know why everyone is so enthusiastic about the 86 movie. The 86 movie was pretty dark and just okay, and I was like, oh, so this new Transformers 1 movie is going to be terrible. But I think he was just trolling us, because this movie was also dark, right? So, I mean, think about it. Spoilers. Spoiler alert! Megatron rips Sentinel Prime in half. Killed him right on camera, right? Pretty much right on camera. Orion Pax was blasted right through the chest. We saw Sentinel Prime come in and destroy all the other Primes, helping the Quintessons. There was also the part where Sentinel Prime welded, like singed, Megatronus' symbol into D-17's chest. That scene was kind of dark. I did have an issue with that scene. This is going to be all over the place. I've never done a movie review video before, obviously. So, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Probably won't get another video like this anytime soon unless another Transformers movie comes in. But if you do like it, let me know and maybe we can try to review some stuff I've seen before, or some of the TV shows I've not seen yet, episode reviews, season reviews, different things like that. Let me know, please, if you like this. I will be able to do more content around this kind of stuff if you did like it. So, insignia being put into Megatron's chest, right? My issue with that was Megatron's line there, getting welded, something welded into his chest, right? So what does he do? He goes, and it's like, no, we want to see better. I'm not, because he's a great actor, the guy that plays Megatron in this movie, and I wanted to hear more. That was painful. I had to have been. You're getting branded, bro. Getting cut into. I needed to hear more like something like that. I mean, I needed more out of that scene from the D-17 actor. But let's talk about the four main characters. B, Elita 1, Orion Pax, Megatron, right? I'm going to talk about the way I thought they looked and the way their acting went. So with B, I thought that his bot mode was pretty good. Even better after he got his cog. His alt mode was incredible. I love Cybertronian alt modes. I always have. And his was very, very good. Might have been the best out of all of them. And Keegan-Michael Key did pretty good playing B, in my opinion. I wish he'd been a little more childish instead of, like, kooky. But I understand why they did what they did. I think it would have been a lot harder for them to go with a childish route to Bumblebee. But I've always liked the Bumblebee that feels more like a younger Autobot, more of a kid, less experienced. I've always liked that more when they do that with Bumblebee, like in the newer continuities, they do that. So I wish they had done that a little bit more. But overall, Keegan-Michael Key did really good. Oh! And his shield that looked like it did in the Bayverse and Nightverse, and then his knife hands. I mean, they went a little hard. He talked about the knife hands a lot, but they were really cool, and it made him very much live up to his term of Pedestrian, which was a funny line. But the reference that they made where B's inanimate friend was named Aaron because he was Keegan-Michael Key. Greg, that one's for you. I know you love that. Key and Peele fans was eating that up. I know they loved that reference. So that was a pretty wild reference they made to Keegan-Michael Key, I thought.
Now, Aaron.
Another thing that I really liked about this movie that I was afraid of happening, I thought there was going to be a lot of jokes, kid type stuff. I thought it was going to be a little more geared towards a child audience. But really, there wasn't that much lighthearted jokes like I thought there would be. I think that, and I told my cousin this going into it, I thought that a lot of that stuff, because there was a lot of that in the trailers, right? And I kind of thought that they just put all that in the trailers, and then there wasn't going to be a whole lot that wasn't in the trailers. And I was right there. There wasn't a whole lot of the jokes that wasn't already in the trailer. So a lot of what you hadn't seen wasn't jokey. It was more serious, story-driven type stuff. So that was cool. One thing that I do want to shout out that I really liked was the multiple times there were references to music in the original Transformers movie, the 86 movie. There was once that Alita One was talking to Orion Pax and she was like, "You don't have the touch. You don't have the power." And I was like, "Oh, that's sweet." There was another one that it was another reference to one of the songs from the movie. Maybe even two. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. But let's move on now to Alita One. Her bot mode was solid. I don't think it was like incredible before or after the upgrade. I think I liked her before the upgrade a little bit better. And her alt mode was pretty good. They went with the bike look. They've done that kind of look with RC a lot. I think it looked good. Didn't like love it, but I thought it was solid. I wish they'd went more like with a vehicle, kind of like her legacy toy. I think they should have went maybe more in that direction a little bit. I think that would have been nice to see. Sort of like that sports car look, but I get they went with the bike, I think, to try to make her a little more different than B, because if you went with her legacy toy and what B looked like in the movie, it would have been too similar, maybe. I thought Scarlett Johansson did pretty good. I think you had a similar issue with this that you do with most times that you have Alita One on camera, or in shows or whatever. She doesn't have a whole lot of a personality. It's just kind of like leader lady. You know what I'm saying? I think they tried. I think it was a good attempt. Scarlett Johansson actually did pretty good. I liked her whole speech she gave to Orion Pax, where she was like, "I'm better at you than everything, but you have blind hope. You have optimism." And I think that's a good segue into something I never realized. And I may have realized this as a child or some point in time and just completely forgot. In my head, Optimus Prime was just a name, right? Optimus Prime. He's a Prime, and they gave him Optimus Prime. Optimus is kind of like a combination of Orion and Pax, sort of. That was kind of the way I thought about the name Optimus, right? Optimus. Optimist. Optimistic.
You didn't have to cut me off.
My mind was blown, and I may sound like an idiot for saying that, especially for being a huge Transformers fan, that I would say I'm not like trying to pat myself on the back or anything, but I'm a decently smart guy, not an idiot. So the fact that I never realized that, or realized that and just had completely forgot about it, it's kind of crazy to me. Don't roast me for not knowing that if you guys did. But some of you guys, there's at least one of you guys out there that was like, "Whoa, this guy's blowing my mind." Top stuff. And I'm like, yeah, because that's the way I felt in that scene when she said, "You're optimistic. You've got all the optimism." I was like, whoa, what? But yeah, so that's how I felt about, Alita 1. Then we have Orion Pax, Optimus Prime. I think he looked pretty darn good as his Orion Pax. Didn't love his face sculpt. I think it was just the mouth and everything. I think it looked too human. And in my mind, Optimus Prime always has that shield, or that mask over his mouth. And I understand the G1 cartoon Orion Pax didn't have that. He did have like a regular face. I don't know. I think we could have made it look a little less childish. I think it looked a little childish. But Chris Hemsworth did incredible, right? It didn't feel like he's like, I'm doing a Peter Cullen Optimus Prime impersonation. I'm just doing what I think Optimus Prime would sound like in my voice. And there was multiple times, like, I think a lot of people was like, Chris Hemsworth, really? But dude killed it. He sounded like Optimus Prime, like actually sounded like Peter Cullen. Like there was multiple times, sorry, I keep cutting my set off, I'm excited. There was multiple times that I was like, whoa, dude, that sounds like Optimus Prime, like Peter Cullen Optimus Prime. I was like, that's crazy. He also did a really good American accent. There was a couple times that sounded a little funny. I think mostly when he got like excited or he was like screaming, sounded a little goofy. But dude did really good. The alt mode for Optimus Prime, incredible, dude. I love that. I've seen a lot of people hating on that, and I don't get it. I thought it was an awesome, like, Cybertronian truck. I thought that was super cool. Super duper cool. His Optimus Prime looked really good. I think, like, when he was Orion Pax but could transform before he straight up turned into Optimus Prime, I really liked that middle look there in his bot mode. I thought it looked pretty good indeed. I thought the whole idea of the cogs not being in their chest because Sentinel Prime had taken them away, thought that was really an interesting move that they took with this movie. I liked it. I thought it was different. It was interesting. It was something they were trying, and I enjoyed that. I thought they did a lot of cool decisions in this movie, kind of like with that they were all minors and they were being tricked pretty much into looking for the Energon. They were being tricked by Sentinel Prime. I thought that was a cool decision that they went in. And that Quintessons were the main bad guys, and that Sentinel Prime was working with the Quintessons. That was kind of crazy. One thing I didn't love, but I understand why they did it, and it was probably the best decision for this, but it just, to me, didn't feel right, was, if you hear that, that's my papa coming by on his tractor. He was just driving by my house. But there were 13 original Primes. I think there was 13 of them. I never got a good chance to count all of them on the movie screen, but I'm assuming there was 13 of them. And the fact that all of them were right there together, and then they had been taken out, and then straight into Sentinel Prime, then straight into Optimus, thought that was weird. In the G1 cartoon, there was many lines of Primes, and I like that idea a lot better, but I understand why they did it. It made more sense for this movie, I guess, but just being a G1er, I was kind of like, well, not really. That's not really how it works. But no, it was not exactly how I wanted it to go, but I understand why they did it that way. It made sense, I think, for what they had to do. Sentinel Prime, by the way, dude's been portrayed in a lot of bad ways through different continuities, but man, this had to be the dirtiest dog-like version of him there's ever been. I mean, come on now. Sentinel Prime was like the dirtiest of dogs in this movie. That dude was like Transformers. No, I only care about myself. I'm working with your enemies, the big enemies, and I'm taking out all the top dogs, and I'm putting myself in charge. Like, dude was a maniacal monster. That was crazy. I knew that he was not going to be painted well, and he was going to be, like, quote-unquote, I thought he was going to be the bad guy, but I did think that he was going to be, like, not a great person. I thought he was just going to be more like a figurehead type, but man, they totally just made him terrible, and that was wild, because I kind of like Sentinel Prime. I don't know, I really will have to bring in this new version of him to really feel like if I still am a big Sentinel Prime fan or not, but we'll see moving forward after this, as time passes. But then we need to talk about D-17, Megatron, right? Loved his look before he got his cog. It looked a lot like the original Megatron, like from the commercials before the show ever came out, right? It kind of had that look to it where it had the black, and he had the yellow eyes and everything. Not gonna lie, at first I was like, really? This is who we picked to play Megatron? And then as it went on, I was like, this dude's doing pretty good. This is actually pretty cool. I think I was very surprised by how well a lot of the casting choices they chose went on. They did a good job of building him up to like being bad. It wasn't like a super just, he's fine, now he's a bad Megatron. There was definitely some build up to that. I think it went a little fast in places, but I think they timed that out pretty well. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought his alt mode being a tank, I thought it was alright. Not great, but I liked it. I think his full-fledged Megatron look was really good as a bot mode. Thought it looked awesome, and I was a fan of it. I liked him and Orion Pax's relationship together. I thought they did a good job of making them feel like friends. They've got each other's back. I thought that was cool. I understand why they did that, and I thought it worked really well. One thing I really liked what they did with Megatron's character was they really played in with the whole, he's a fanboy of Megatronus Prime, right? I really liked that. I liked how much love that Megatronus got, because I'm a big Megatronus fan as well. I like how much they did with that rub that he got. Arachnid, thought that was a cool choice that they did with being like Sentinel Prime's second in command. She was cool. I mean, I didn't love her alt mode. Thought it was okay. Her bot mode, think it could have been like slightly extra color in there would have been good. But one thing we do know from watching this, we're getting a lot of Studio Series figures from this. I guarantee it. Because the other miners, I don't know if you guys noticed this, almost all of the Season 1 G1 Autobots were the miners with him. You had Jazz, Brawn, Ratchet, Ironhide, Sideswipe. Then you also had like RC in there. Chromia was in there. I didn't actually notice Chromia, but when I was reading the cast at the end, I saw Chromia in there. Wasn't a lot of voice actors in there. There was only like 12 or something, 10. I really wish that they had got Optimus Prime, like the original, like Peter Cullen or Frank Welker. To my knowledge, neither of them made any cameos in there, and I really wish they had done that. That would have been really nice touch, in my opinion. I wish they had done that. But a lot of the bots looked really good, and we're going to be we're going to, like the way they did Bumblebee with that opening scene, how like Brawn, RC, Ratchet, Wheeljack, all those guys got like Studio Series figures. You know they're going to do that with this one. You're going to get your Sideswipe, your RC, your Wheeljack, your Brawn. You're going to get those for sure, and I'm excited for that. But you're also going to get like probably the Quintus on High Commander. You're going to get your Alpha Trion. Alpha Trion was interesting, by the way. I know they do the Alpha Trion transforms into a lion a lot. And I like the transform into a lion. I thought Alpha Trion was good. I didn't think he was great. I think they could have done better with him. The voice actor was pretty solid. I don't know. It's a hard one for me because I liked him. But I felt like there was something missing. He needed a little extra something, I felt like. I don't know. But they did it pretty good. The whole lion look was pretty cool. Him ripping through people, where he made the dust come up and he's shooting through there like a beast on the hunt. That was cool. Quintus on High Commander looked cool. I want to see an actual Quintus on, though, with the different faces. That would have been cool to see that. I hope we get a sequel to this, which I assume we will. Surely, come on, Hasbro, Paramount, we need a sequel to this. That's why I want you guys to go watch this, to support it so we do get a sequel. But yeah, I think we'll get a Quintus on that looks like that at some point in time. Now, one thing that was cool with the Icon 5000, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the leaderboard, you had a lot of references to other Transformers. I saw Blur, Tailgate. I think I saw Cup in there once. There was a lot of them. Override. There was a lot of Transformers in there on that. Motormaster. There was a lot. So yeah, that was really cool that they did that, put them in the race. It made sense. One thing that I was really happy about, Darkwing. I'm not saying like Darkwing was a big part of the story, but he was in there quite a bit. And Darkwing, for y'all that don't know, was one of the main villains in Transformers Super God Master Force, which is one of my absolute favorite media entities that Transformers ever made. It was one of my favorite things that Transformers ever done, Super God Master Force, and Darkwing was one of the main characters in that. Darkwing was in this a lot, and he looked a lot like he did. Like, you see that, and you're like, oh yeah, that's Darkwing. Yeah, totally. And so that was awesome. I can't believe they did that, to be honest with you. That one was wild. That was a wild decision that I was very happy about. A lot of people probably aren't going to appreciate, most people probably aren't going to appreciate that as much as I did, but it was cool. I do wish they had thrown a little more Transformers in there, like, because the miners, it was just those set of guys. There was like 12 of them, and they just kept showing them throughout the movie. I wish later on they had showed more, like, I don't know, Perceptor, Ultra Magnus, Hot Rod, I don't know, Springer, Cosmos. There's people that could have shown more, but that's being nitpicky. You gotta have people for the next movie if you're gonna do a next movie as well. Overall, it was awesome. Man, it's gonna be hard for me. I don't know if I'm gonna put this. Surely the original one is better, and it's blasphemous that I'm even thinking that this one might be better. But that just shows you how freaking good this movie was and how much I liked it. The story was good. I thought they did a good build-up across it. I liked the characters. The casting was good. The design was good. It looked awesome. One thing I really liked, especially when they were outside of Iacon, when they were like on the surface, it had like a brown look to it. Now, you're probably thinking that's a bad thing. That's a good thing, because it reminded me of, like, somebody out there, please tell me you get this. It really gave a Don Bluth look to it, like a 90s American Tail. That's what it reminded me of. Surely somebody else got that vibe, or sort of kind of see where I'm coming from when I say that. It really felt like it just had like a brown tint to it. And I feel like when I think of that brown tint, those are the movies I think of, the American Tail, that kind of stuff from that area, Don Bluth type stuff, 90s, 80s, that kind of stuff. So, surely, please, somebody hit me up in the comments and say that they agree with me. I need some kind of confirmation on that. I don't want to feel like I'm just the only one that noticed that. But, overall, movie was incredible. I'm super excited. I want to buy all the toys. I want to do reviews of all the toys. So far, I've got one toy on pre-order. I haven't bought any of the mainline stuff yet, but I might have to do that. I've just gone in on the Studio Series stuff. I was going to get Studio Series Bumblebee and pre-order it, but it was sold out by the time I got to it. So we'll see. I definitely want to get more. Specifically, going to get Studio Series Optimus Prime. Easy. Definitely getting that, because it's in stores right now. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I think they did great. There's a lot of opportunity to build off of this, do more with this. I hope they do. The music was pretty solid. I think they could have done a little bit better. I wish they had thrown some rock tunes in there just to feel more reminiscent of the old 86 movie. I wish they had done a cover of one of them, like Dare to Be Stupid or Dare That would have been cool. I thought one thing that I really wish they had done, I understand why they didn't. So a really cool reference they made was Alpha Trion speaking to Orion Pax when he gets the Matrix. And it was like, now rise, Optimus Prime. Just like in the G1 movie, when Optimus Prime was like, rise, Rodimus Prime. I wish they had played the same song they played in that scene. I get why they didn't, but that would have been so cool. Starscream, Steve Buscemi, that was super cool. That was wild they did that. I like how Megatron choking him like messed up his speaking. That's why he sounded weird. Shockwave and Soundwave, I liked them. Their designs were a little, I don't know how to say it. I feel like they look cheap. Somebody let me know if you agreed. I thought their designs kind of looked a little cheap, and I'm afraid the toys, specifically Shockwave, I'm afraid the toys are going to have a cheap look to them. I don't know if they look too much like some of those cheaper toys, like the designs were too similar. Maybe that's where I'm coming from, but I was a little disappointed. Soundwave, though, was awesome. He had the whole voice thing. He had that whole voice to it, and he even said, "High guard, eject." That was awesome. Love that. There was a lot of cool stuff they did in this movie. They paid a lot of fan service to the old fans, and they definitely made it accessible to the new fans that don't know anything really about Transformers. I was really happy with what they did, and I really hope we do more moving forward. I guess that's about going to wrap up this movie. I guess, though, I should go ahead and rank this, though, right? Because I rank these toys. Should rank the movie, right? I'm going to give it like I'm torn between an 8 or a 9. I think I want to go 8. If I go 8, though, that definitely probably tells you that the G1 original movie I have ranked higher. But man, I definitely am going to do a video where I rank all the Transformer movies one day. But this one, probably going to give it an 8. I think that was good, and I think you could argue a 9. But guys, I think that's going to wrap up this video. Hope y'all liked this. If you did, let me know. Show the support to this video. If not, that's fine. We never have to do another video like this. I just felt like, hey, let's cash in on Transformers 1. I saw it. I saw it in 3D, by the way. That was wild. I was afraid that it was going to take away from it, but it was the only showing that late after I got off work. And it was actually pretty good. First time I've seen a 3D movie in a long time. It wasn't like incredible 3D, but it was cool. I think it was like not taken away from the movie, and it did something cool. It was a cool look. I just want to say, guys, thank you for continuing to show up on this channel, for liking, subscribing, just watching the videos, sharing the videos, telling your friends about it. It's awesome. All that is super helpful, and I really appreciate you guys for all of that. I guess all I'm going to leave you with is, till all are one, peace.